I was just trying to be nice when this whole mess started. Here's the full story of how being helpful turned into something I never expected. I moved into a nice suburban neighborhood last fall. It's one of those places with matching houses, fake ponds, and an HOA that makes rules about everything: grass height, mailbox colors, you name it. I work from home doing computer stuff for shipping companies. It's boring but pays well. My daily routine was simple. Work, walk my dog Buddy, a super chill corgi, buy groceries, maybe hit the gym. Buddy and I walked twice daily, 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. He's the kind of dog that makes everyone smile. The first few weeks were perfect. I'd wave at joggers, chat about weather with neighbors getting mail. It was peaceful, exactly what I needed after years of thin-walled apartments with loud neighbors. Then Jessica moved in next door. She was about 30, single mom with a cute 4-year-old named Tyler. From day one, she seemed scattered. Not mean, just intense. You know those people who talk at you instead of with you? That was her. Her moving day was chaos. Movers put kitchen boxes in the garage, furniture in wrong rooms. She spent most of the day on her phone, pacing in flip-flops and yoga pants, waving her hands at people who couldn't see her. The first red flag. When she introduced herself, she rapid-fire asked where Target was, about babysitters, and if the neighborhood was cool about noise. All while her kid Tyler hung on her arm and she barely acknowledged him. But I try to be decent. When she seemed stressed, I helped. I told her about good stores, recommended services, gave her the phone number of a teenage pet sitter across the street. Everything seemed normal at first. We'd say hi when we saw each other. Tyler was adorable, bright kid who waved at every dog and asked thoughtful questions like why fire trucks are red. He loved Paw Patrol and carried an old stuffed animal everywhere. 3 weeks after she moved in, I'm walking Buddy when Jessica leans out in a bathrobe and slippers, hair messy. Hey, mind grabbing my mail this week? Going to San Antonio for work. No big deal, right? Seemed reasonable. I said, sure, no problem. That sure was the start of all my problems. I collected her mail that week, left it on her counter when she gave me the spare key. She thanked me with fancy coffee when she returned. Everything felt normal. But the next week, I'm walking past when she's outside with Tyler. He was making chalk art on the driveway. She was on her phone but hung up when she saw me. Hey, can you hold Tyler for a second while I grab something? Before I could think, she put her son's hand in mine and ran inside. I stood there confused, holding a 4-year-old's hand, watching his mom disappear. Tyler looked up with trusting eyes and asked if Buddy liked to color. I said Buddy preferred watching, which made him giggle. 20 minutes. 20 full minutes I stood there talking about chalk art while she did who knows what inside. When she finally came out with a bowl of cereal, acting like this was totally normal. Thanks, she said happily, taking Tyler's hand back. He gets upset if I leave him alone. Then she walked inside, leaving me wondering what just happened. I didn't say anything. I told myself she was just stressed, maybe dealing with some emergency. Single parenting looked hard. The following week, same thing happened. I'm walking past when she comes out with Charlie, her golden doodle. Without warning, Jessica shoved Charlie's leash into my hand. Oh, perfect timing. She ran back toward her house, yelling about the oven. I stood there shocked, holding a leash attached to a dog I didn't know, while Charlie whined and pulled toward the street. Buddy looked at me like, what did you get us into? 15 minutes passed. Charlie got more upset. I worried maybe there really was an oven emergency. But she came back casual as anything. You're a lifesaver. This time I spoke up. Hey, I'm not really available to watch dogs. She laughed, actually laughed, and said, well, you're dog adjacent, right? Then took Charlie's leash and went inside. She started texting me requests. Can you feed my cat tonight? I have a date. Could you watch Tyler for 15 minutes while I shop? He's napping. Quick favor. Let Charlie out if my car's not back by 6? The 15-minute babysitting turned into 90 minutes. I missed an important work call. When Jessica returned with shopping bags and a frappuccino, Tyler innocently told me, Mommy went to Ross and Target and Starbucks. I was still too much of a pushover, So I just said, maybe let me know if it'll be longer next time. She smiled like I'd offered to adopt them both. Tyler really likes you. He keeps asking about Buddy. Last week, she knocked holding a notebook, smiling brightly. I'm super busy this weekend. Work project, Tyler's soccer, my sister's baby shower. Could you maybe? She started reading like a shopping list. Feed Charlie Friday and Sunday. Feed Luna my cat twice daily. She's picky. Water back patio plants. Take in packages. Check on Tyler if I'm late from soccer practice. I interrupted. No. She blinked. No to what? To all of it. I'm not your maid, pet sitter, or babysitter. I'm just your neighbor. Stop dumping your life on me. Silence. She looked like I'd slapped her. Wow. So you're just going to be a bad neighbor? No, I'm being a normal neighbor. You're asking for free labor. She stood processing this rejection, then left without a word. I felt relieved, thinking it was over. Wrong. 2 days later, she returned with dry, flavorless muffins and a peace-offering note. She smiled like nothing happened. Sorry about the other day. I didn't mean to make you feel taken advantage of. I'm just overwhelmed. It's hard being a single mom with no help. This wasn't an apology. It was emotional manipulation wrapped in victim language. Okay, I accept the apology, but my boundary stands. She sighed dramatically. It just sucks. You were so nice before. Now you act like I'm the worst person ever. Being nice doesn't mean being available 24/7. She looked shocked, mumbled about figuring it out alone, and did a slow, guilt-inducing walk off my porch. What followed was suburban drama at its finest. Within days, she was having hushed conversations with Helen, the nosy neighbor who once left a typed note about my trash can placement. They'd look at my house while talking, then pointedly ignore me. Someone slipped a neighborhood kindness committee flyer in my mailbox, pink paper smelling like guilt and vanilla candles. It takes a village. Be the neighbor someone needs. Jessica posted on Nextdoor. Some of us work full-time, raise kids, care for pets, and still show up for others. Be a blessing, not a burden. Hashtag community matters. She was turning my boundary setting into a morality play, casting herself as the struggling saint and me as the selfish villain. The post got likes and supportive comments. Even though Jessica stopped asking for favors, Tyler didn't get the message. He started showing up randomly, always alone, acting like it was normal. First time, can Buddy come out to play? I was confused. Buddy's a dog, not a playmate, but gave Tyler a treat for Buddy and figured that was it. But he kept coming back. Sometimes wanting to draw Buddy's house. Sometimes asking for goldfish crackers. Sometimes just standing there with his stuffed animal, looking like he needed something he couldn't articulate. When I asked if his mom knew where he was, he'd shrug. She's sleeping? She's on her phone? Or I don't know. One evening after Tyler asked if Buddy was lonely, I walked him home. He just walked right in, door unlocked. Jessica was on the couch in leggings, scrolling TikTok while someone screamed about skincare. She barely looked up. Oh hey, you found him? No concern, no apology for her 4-year-old wandering unsupervised. He came over again. I didn't know if you expected that. She shrugged. He loves Buddy. It's like therapy. You're really good with him. Ever think about babysitting for money? I have a full-time job. So do I. Doesn't mean I get to stop being a parent. A few days later, Saturday morning, I heard the familiar knock. Tyler again, but different this time. No shoes, messy hair, clutching his stuffed animal with an expression too serious for a 4-year-old. I knelt down. Hey buddy, everything okay? He whispered something I'll never forget. Mom said if I'm ever scared or something happens, I should come to you. My blood went cold. Did something happen, Tyler? He hugged his stuffed animal tighter. She cries a lot when no one's here. That's when I knew this was bigger than boundary issues or bad parenting. This child had been given an escape route and he was using it. I texted Jessica. Tyler's here again. Everything okay? 20 minutes later. Oh well, sorry. Fell asleep. He wanders sometimes. Wanders. Asterisk he's 4. When she answered her door, makeup smeared, eating a bagel like she'd slept for days, I told her what Tyler said about coming to me. Just a figure of speech. I meant you're safe. I trust you. But he's walking over alone, barefoot. You can't have him roaming around. She snapped. Well, maybe if his father gave us money, I wouldn't rely on neighbors who think they're too good to care. She slammed the door. That night I called my sister in Denver. She's a social worker. I told her everything. Start documenting, she said immediately. You think it's serious? 4-year-old wandering barefoot to your house. Mom says he wanders sometimes? Document everything, dates, times, quotes. Just in case. I started a computer document. Tyler visits log. Within a week, I had 6 detailed entries. Here's what made it complicated. The more time I spent with Tyler, the more I liked him. Sweet, thoughtful, curious kid. Once he asked if my couch was only for adults, or if kids could sit there too. That broke my heart. But I didn't want to become his unofficial guardian. I just wanted to be a decent neighbor. Tuesday, after a massive Texas storm, thunder, lightning, wind sending trash cans rolling, ground soaked, puddles everywhere. At 7:40 a.m., drinking coffee on my porch, I saw Tyler walking down Jessica's driveway, barefoot, clothes wet, no jacket, just Spider-Man shirt and Paw Patrol pajamas, dragging his stuffed animal through puddles. I ran to him. Tyler, what happened? Where's your mom? He looked up, shivering. She was yelling on the phone and told me to go outside. I didn't know where to go. That was my line. I couldn't pretend this was just a messy family situation anymore. I wrapped him in a towel, called in sick to work, made 2 calls. First my sister. You've done more than most, but now make it official. Then I called Child Protective Services. I'm not trying to start drama. I just don't think this kid is safe. The intake worker was professional, asking detailed questions. I shared everything, the log, quotes, patterns. They said they'd follow up. By Thursday, Jessica knew. I came home to find a CPS business card in her doorframe and Jessica on her porch, arms crossed, red-eyed. You called them. I didn't deny it. She got too close, hissed. You have no idea what you've done. He was barefoot after a storm. You told a 4-year-old to go outside when he was scared. I couldn't ignore that. She laughed bitterly. You're so self-righteous. You think you're the hero? You think they'll fix anything? You just made everything worse. I hope you feel good about scaring a kid, tearing apart a family. She slammed the door. That night I heard raw emotion through the walls. Anger, fear, desperation. Next day, silence. No Tyler, no music, no TikTok. Just quiet. Friday, a CPS worker knocked, professional, polite. They tried several times, but no one answered. Is Tyler okay? Can't share details, but we're handling it. For what it's worth, you probably did right. It's messy, but ignoring it rarely helps. Couldn't sleep that night. Tyler had trusted me, now he was gone. I hadn't seen him in over a week. Jessica's car remained, but the house felt empty. Blinds closed, no porch light, packages piling up. Helen posted on Nextdoor about people minding their own business before involving government. 12 likes. Mom still said I should have just talked to her first. But how? She'd had every chance to get help, acknowledge problems, show she was trying. Instead, she used me as her escape route. 3 weeks of silence. Walking buddy past a shuttered house with dying plants and an overturned tricycle. Then Thursday evening, a knock. Jessica, but different. Not angry or defensive, just exhausted. Stained hoodie, practical messy hair. Holding something behind her back. Can I talk? I stepped outside. She brought her hand around Tyler's stuffed animal. They took him. Not forever. I still get visits, but he's with a foster family now. She paused. He has his own bed there. Clean clothes. The lady makes banana pancakes. I stayed quiet. I hated you. When CPS showed up, I thought you were the worst kind of person. Nosy, judgmental neighbor who thought she knew everything. Hollow laugh. But then I got sober. I blinked. Sober. She nodded. Treatment program. Therapy daily. AA meetings. Clean for 16 days. She looked at the stuffed animal. Pills mostly, sometimes other stuff. Tyler saw more than he should have. You were right. So right, and I wasn't ready to hear it. Didn't want to believe I was that kind of mom. Deep sigh. Don't know what happens next. Doing the work because I want him back. But even if not, I want to be someone he can be proud of someday. She held out the stuffed animal. He wanted you to have this. Said Buddy might like it. My throat tightened. I nodded, took the toy. Sorry for putting so much on you. For not seeing how bad things were. For dragging you into my mess. You didn't drag me. I walked in. Maybe I should have done it sooner. Half smile. Maybe. But at least you did it. Jessica still attends meetings. I see her leave mornings with the same canvas bag. Porch lights back on. New flowers planted. Sometimes I hear music again. Not loud, just alive. Tyler hasn't come home yet, but she says he's doing well. Weekly video chats. Started preschool, loves it. Made a friend named Oliver who also likes dinosaurs and goldfish crackers. Sometimes Jessica waves when she sees me with Buddy. Real waves, not forced neighborhood ones. Last week she knocked again. Not asking for anything, just to say thanks and give me banana bread. Actually moist banana bread this time. Okay, you're officially forgiven for those awful muffins, I said. She laughed. A real laugh. We're not friends yet, but not enemies either. Maybe that's enough for now. Sometimes I wonder if I did right. If calling CPS was too much, if I should have tried something else first. But then I remember Tyler, barefoot in the rain, holding his stuffed animal. Mom told me to come to you if something happens. Something did happen. And I was there. Being a good neighbor sometimes means making the hardest choice. It would have been easier ignoring warning signs, telling myself it wasn't my business, avoiding the mess that comes with getting involved. But when a child trusts you enough to come to your door when scared, when they're walking barefoot in storms because they have nowhere else to go, the choice becomes clear. I learned that being kind doesn't mean being available 24/7 for exploitation. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're necessary. Sometimes helping means refusing to enable. Doing right often feels terrible initially but brings long-term peace. Tyler is safe now. Clean clothes, banana pancakes, friend named Oliver. Jessica got help she needed but couldn't accept until losing what mattered most. I learned sometimes being a decent neighbor means being willing to be the villain in someone else's story. So no, I don't think I was wrong. I was the adult when a child needed one. If I had to do it again, knowing all the pain and drama it would cause, I'd make that call every time. Because sometimes love looks like saying no. Sometimes kindness looks like boundaries. Sometimes being a good neighbor means making the call everyone else is too scared to make. That's what I learned from Jessica, Tyler, and a situation that taught me more about myself than I ever wanted to know.